life was too easy in the beginning. So what I mean by that is the beginning of my life was too easy. Like from being a little kid and being babied by my mom and like somewhat being sheltered and like just that alone gave me a certain expectancy of life that wasn't the reality. So I wasn't totally sheltered, but basically, like, my mom fucking babying me when I was a little kid. Like it made me expect that from the world. And then when I get into the real world and I don't get that, then I have to fucking learn. So yeah, I just was thinking yesterday and I realized that the beginning of my life was too easy, and now, when reality hits, it's twice as hard. It's twice as hard for someone like me, being that I was given a fucking sheltered view of the world, or like I was just babied. Like uh, I can't say like all the way. There's cases worse than mine, but like being that I was given things, or like being that I didn't have to figure things out on my own in the beginning, it made shit way harder in the future as an adult. Like with interacting with people, with fucking relationships, with just understanding life, and like that shit, like you want to do the best for your kids, but that shit is a curse, man. Like you want to fucking keep them away from bad neighborhoods and bad experiences, but that's a curse because you can't. You can't keep anyone, any child, no matter what, who they are, you can't keep them away from bad experiences. And like being overprotective of your child, which was, I was a victim of that. Being overprotective of your child is making them fucking not get that in the real world. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, my mommy's not here to protect me. Like, yeah, and then shit's way worse. And like, there was plenty of things. There are plenty of lazy ass fucking habits that I adopted, and lazy ass, not even just lazy, just like behaviors that I adopted. That now, as an adult, it's like you can't do this anymore. You got away with this for so long, but you can't do this anymore. Like it's like way harder for me to do what's right, but on top of that, I have to untrain my mind with all this fucking bullshit ass behavior, all these bullshit perceptions of life, all these ways that I thought it would be, all these things that I was like, areas that I was babied in, and like information that was presented to me in the wrong way, like trying to protect your kid from the fucking real world it does the opposite, because when the real world hits, no matter what, they're going to face the real world in some way. When it hits, then they don't have that information or those experiences to handle that. So all my struggles and shit are way harder because I had to parent myself. Well, I was already my own father my whole life, but like then I had to reparent myself. Then I had to remother myself. Obviously not all the way, but I had to fucking like reparent myself as an adult, and I'm like, man, this shit, no wonder why I felt like life was easy. Before, like I could say like 4 or 5 years ago, like I was always like, man, life is like hella easy, and I didn't understand. But in reality, it was like, no, 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 Mo. It's the slack off bullshit life that you live that's easy. And I'm not a person that's supposed to just get a job and that's my entire existence and my whole life. Like that to me was easy, and that's why I was like, what do you mean life's easy? It's like, no, I have to do way more shit. My potential is way higher, and I have to fulfill that, and it's not fucking easy. And like I realized yesterday that the beginning of my life, like from childhood being babied by my mom, and then other half of the beginning of my life, maybe like from 10 all the way to 19, 20, like I was viewing life from the wrong perspectives, and I was like having a soft ass attitude toward it. And like, if things were easy, I didn't have to fucking push out that higher level of trying. I wasn't required, it wasn't required of me. Now I think I'm like 25 now. Yeah, like it's like, man, dude, like all that shit that you did before isn't gonna work. You have to step it up to like extreme boss level. And then experiencing stress is like, I mean, I always experienced depression and shit, but like it's a different level of depression at this point. I'm like, what the fuck? Why isn't my life in order of how I want it to be? It's like, nah, bro, you thought it was gonna be that easy? Hell no. Your potential is so high that your struggles have to equal it. Like my potential is so high that my struggles have to be just below my potential. And like, man, life at this point in my fucking journey is like I don't want to say it's really hard, but it's way hard. I mean, it is, but it's way harder than before. It's way harder than I expected. And because it's hard in different ways, like I didn't realize in order to achieve my fucking desired lifestyle, I have to overcome all my insecurities and habits. Like, no one would know that. How the fuck do you know that as a child? I thought that it was just grinding until you make it. Well, you can't grind if you have insecurities in the way and bad habits that get in the way of that. But moral of the moral is fucking yeah, the beginning portions of my life were way too easy, and now the reality hits. It's way fucking harder for me, and it's like I've changed into so many different people. 2020 last year, I fucking changed. I was like 3 different people growing up, and like, man, like I'm a whole different person this time. Like it sucks, man. It's good that I recognize that though. It's very rare to recognize that, and like just me being able to like speak this out is more confirmation for me of like, yeah, bro, life is hella hard and it's even harder. And now that you know this, now that you know it gets harder as it goes on, it's even harder now. Like, fuck, man. Shit. I was fucking babied and taught some fucking weenie ass wussy shit. And now life is hella fucking hard because I'm trying to be a fucking dope ass, advanced, boss ass motherfucker. And it's like, nah, bro, you got to go through that much trauma and that much struggle, Like, you got to go through that much fucking sadness and that much shit. Like, it doesn't matter what you learn. If you haven't gone through the trauma, you ain't gonna fucking make it. If you haven't gone through the turmoil and all the fucking downs, then you ain't gonna reach the ups, So, yeah, my advice is don't fucking baby your kids. And don't fucking teach anyone a false reality. You don't have to be mean, but teach them the harshest, most brutal fucking shit ever. Teach fucking children that, yes, you will be nothing and sad and miserable if you don't fulfill your dreams. Stop teaching your kids, oh, you can be whatever you want to be. No, you teach the fucking 7-year-old, you better fucking decide now, or else you're gonna turn out like everyone else, miserable. Of course, my extremes are extreme. That's just how it is. But you see what I'm getting at. Like, don't fucking baby kids and don't give people a sheltered or fabricated or sugar-coated, there we go, that's the term. Don't give people a sugar-coated example or expression of the world, because then they're gonna have to fucking deal with it the hard way like me, man. Like, I have the fucking, I'm able to think of anything and figure out anything in my life. But the action isn't there because I've spent so much time doing actions of bullshit. I've practiced bullshit and I never had that discipline. Now, I'm not blaming my mom, she was a single parent, like, so it's fine, it's cool. I'm doing the other half of the work, but, it took that for me to learn this so I can explain to other people that, yeah, don't fucking baby people. Don't baby your kids. Don't teach them don't teach anyone, a kid or not. Don't give them a fabricated explanation of it, because when reality hits, it's going to be twice as hard.